Hello, welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, we're looking at another large block frigate, and well, this one that I'm currently standing on is called Project 820E Light Frigate, which is, well, this lovely thing over here. So this is a exceptionally armed frigate that's used for very light skirmishes against ships of equal sizes or bases of similar firepower, and well, that's what we're going to do right now to test it out. So we're going to go and do this, then we're going to have a look around the outside, go through all the menus and all of that. Because I'm using a modded enemy in this world, I want to actually get rid of them because they are approaching me quite rapidly. And well, the reason I'm using modded enemies in this world is because it's a better showcase of how the turrets behave, how the ships behave in combat. Because when you're fighting against a regular space pirate, an outpost, a drone, well, ships can very easily overpower them due to the sheer amounts of guns on them. But no, over in the distance is a Reaver enemy. There should be other enemies spawning in this world. That's what I was trying to test out in the previous video, but unfortunately they did not want to spawn. But there we go, they've now found a valid target, which is me. I'm going to fly all the way over to them. I'm just going to hide the HUD there. And well, here we go. So with this ship, the 820E Light Frigate, this is a forward-facing ship. We do not want to be broadsiding our enemies, so we're going to go head-on straight into them. And we'll hope for the best. So we're now coming all the way over to them. And there we are, we're now going to start to engage them. Just going to hide all those signals. And I'm going to go very carefully now all the way around to make sure we can avoid their rocket launches and avoid all their assault cannons. I want to go all the way and keep circling around. So by default on this ship, the turrets are all set to target the enemy's weapons, which is jolly good stuff. What I usually go for all turrets that I use in Space Engineers, which is a bloody useful thing, because it means you can go up to the vehicle that you're trying to attack or got attacked by and salvage them. Here we go, we're now going to go all the way up to them and get a bit closer. So they do have some interior turrets or Gatling turrets on the side there. I can come into this camera. It looks like we have been damaged on the front there. They do have a lot of guns currently firing. And now we're just going to keep looking at it like so. That was a fantastic volley all the way to the front of that Reaver ship. And it looks like we do have a few guns on the side there that still need to be disabled. Back into here, hiding all of that. Coming a bit closer. And moving up slightly. We're now going to roll all the way around. There we go. Gone to the opposite side. And it looks like they might have been fully disabled. Oh no, the turrets have found more weapons. That's now spinning out of control. They've now got within range of the other ships I spawned in. And that was a massive explosion there. And I believe that could be the end of that ship. Yes, it's been split into multiple little pieces. And that's about it. Yes, I did spawn in 3 other ships there. So while I was doing the intro, if they did crawl all the way out to me without me knowing, I'd have a bit of protection. But no, at the end of the day, this ship did very well against that Reaver ship, which did have a similar amount of guns on there. And as for the damage dealt to the ship, as you can see, there's quite a lot of steel blocks got deformed. Our little bridge there where our cockpit is sitting, or at least where our camera is sitting right behind, did get a bit destroyed. But overall, it did fantastic in that small engagement against a equally armed ship. With that all done and out of the way, what I am going to do is grab hold of my character, hop out of this, or wherever my character has gone. Apparently he got ejected out. Oh no, that's from the previous video where I had those point defense drones or point defense balls just all the way around this place. Now I want to be in this one, popping out of here, bring the free camera all the way over to these ships. We're going to get into a fresh one, and we'll go press F10, go around the outside, have a look at the interior. This one is luckily a very small interior compared to the ship in the previous video, so it shouldn't take too long to actually go through that. So yes, we're going to come over to this one, plop myself down. Now I'm going to realign the camera like so. There we go. Press F10, finding the spawn menu. The Project 820E Light Frigate is 2,460 large blocks, using the Warfare 2 DLC pack. We see under here a nice bit of information about it, giving you a bit of story and context behind the ship. Then scrolling all the way down, there we go, it says for optimal use, you want to be using it as a forward-fired ship instead of a broadsider. So we're going to give this a thumbs up, move around towards the very front, realign the sunlight so we can actually get a better view look at what's going on here. We might be able to, that'll do quite nicely. It's quite hard because the ship is very wide, or at least light grey all the way around this thing, so it does lose quite a lot of detail when in direct sunlight. No, this is what we get for the very front of the Project 820E Light Frigate. And while that's a bunch of white steel blocks to make up the main bulk of this vehicle, within a singular artillery turret, and then a bunch of assault cannon turrets to blast your enemies with. Moving up to here, we can see the artillery turret has been lowered down into the ship to give it a bit of extra cover from any kind of shots coming towards it. Then right behind there, we can see our assault cannon turret, which has been raised up slightly, so it can view over the top of that artillery turret, and will blast the enemies. Moving across onto the side, here we go, so we see our turret right below there, which is another assault cannon turret. Around onto the side that has the sunlight. This side will do, I suppose this side will have to do. Yes, we'll come all the way across. More assault cannon turrets on the top there, right behind where I'm standing. Onto this section, we see the start of our hydrogen thrusters, which is the only form of thrusters that appear on this ship. Then into this section, as well as on the opposite side, will be hangar bay doors to open up to allow a very small ship to dock inside. That's going to be an exceptionally small ship that comes inside here, due to the fact it is very cramped. So pushing the camera all the way through, there we go, that is the space we get. So maybe the size of the Dex Fighter could fit inside here. For reference, coming to here, finding the Dex Fighter, there it is, copying that, and we'll try and put it inside wherever the actual thing has gone. Move it a bit closer, move it around. There we go, pushing it inside. And yes, this will just about fit inside here. It's going to be a very tight squeeze. Yes, that's the size of the ship that you can get inside this section. Anyway, we'll come back to that a bit later on. Moving away, turning off my lights. There we are. We then see some interior turrets on the top and the bottom to act as point defense drones to help shoot down any kind of missiles coming towards you. Put my light on once again, coming all the way up. There we go, a bunch of interior turrets around there, next to our beacon and of course our laser antenna. There's a gyroscope, there's an ore detector, so we can go out about for ore patches with the ship, if that's what we want to do. Suppose it could be a bit overkill, but if you are using modded enemies in your world, the extra protection would be very nice for actually scouting ore patches. And yes, at the very back there, there's a singular rocket launcher turret, which should deal a nice lot of damage. Anyway, moving towards the back there, some more hydrogen thrusters. Then at the very back here, we've got a much more larger docking pad, so you can fit more vehicles on here if you want to. So it would be a bit exposed compared to the one that will sit inside. But then again, unlike the interior, like I said, you could fit a much larger ship on here. In fact, you could fit the same size ship, so you can take that one right over there, come over here and dock it up. If that's what you really want to do. Anyway, moving all the way up and looking down. There we go. All the way across, so we see a bunch of hydrogen thrusters for our left and right, and to help move us down. There's an event sucking auction from the surrounding areas. There's a gyroscope for the opposite side. Moving up, all the way across, there's our turrets. There's where I'm standing. Our other turret, and of course our artillery turret. Moving on down underneath this thing. There we go. Putting on my light once again. Got another turret, more hydrogen thrusters. A little bit of red there to break it all up. There's a connector to dock it up, along with a magnetic plate to clamp it down. Some more interior turrets. Then all the way across here, there's a piston head. Some more thrusters. And I believe I can hear something out of my left ear. So there might be another enemy approaching me. We'll check on that in just a moment. Now moving across there. There's our rear thrusters to boost us around, and that should give us a nice lot of speed. Well, I actually saw at the start of this video. And with that, that's a brief look around the outside of the Project 820E Light Frigate. It looks fantastic with how it's all been set up. And because of the way it's been designed, because of how traditional it looks to an actual ship that'd be on the water, you could, if you really want to, use this with the water mod, and we'll just refit it out, put a bunch of hydrogen tanks below this thing to make sure it could float, and we'll just sail it across the seas on the Earth-like planet, or whatever planet you want to have the water spawned on. I'll put a link to the water mod in the description below. I believe it still works. Not too sure because I haven't used it for quite some time now. Now I'm going to grab on my character and head on inside. First of all, bring up the signals. What do we have going on here? Looks like we've got Reaver Aggressor over there who's currently sitting still. He was there before I started recording, so he's just chilling over there. No, over there is another Reaver. That one's a Piercer. Not too sure what that one is, but that is slowly approaching me from the side. So with the free camera, where is he? He's over on that side. Let's get a nice close-up of what he's actually going to be looking like. And there he is. That is quite a big ship. He's got Gatling turrets on the top, on the side, one hell of a lot of hydrogen thrusters all the way around. It connected to actually dock up, so maybe he just wanted to come over to me and dock himself up at the back of the ship. But no, we can see some puffs of, well, electrical smoke coming out of the back there. It is a jump capable, or at least I think that's a jump drive. There might be some heat vents. Yes, it is. That's slowly approaching my location. No, we've got to do this fairly quickly. So grabbing hold of my character, hiding all the signals. We're going to pretend that's not happening. Now it's time to come in through that little doorway on the side. So cross into this doorway, here we go. This is the only doorway to get in and out, barring of course the hangar base on the side. Got a double door for an airlock, and then we're instantly greeted by a cockpit to actually drive it around. Closing up that, looking at the back there. There we go, so we've got some AI blocks on here so we can make it as a companion drone to another ship, if that's what you want. No, there's your air vents. There's a little inset block, which I like to imagine is a bed, before we actually had the bed block added to the game. There's a battery, portrait cockpit, LCD screen telling your target locked, hydrogen power, and of course that little thing in the middle that tells you how fast you're moving. Anyway, turning around, coming through this section, here we go, another double door that comes all the way towards the back of the ship, where of course we've got our hangar bay to store our tiny little ship inside. They could always put a land vehicle in here if that's what we wanted to, and just deploy it when you're down onto a planet, or maybe just airdrop it in and use parachutes to drop it onto the ground. But we've got a cryopod on the front there, we then see some conveyors, which have got caps on the front of them. Facing that side, there we go, we've got an open cargo container to store stuff inside. And yes, if you see the screen getting a bit wonky, we do not have a gravity generator on this ship, so every single lump and bump is going to make it very, very wonky. But no, bring up the hunt here. Here's our button panel so we can depressurize the area on and off. We've also got doorways to open up, and then over there we've got a projector on and off, which you can project. That should be projecting the entire ship, so if you ever took damage, we can easily spot the damage and repair it up. But no, because the enemies are approaching me, I'm now going to turn off that projector, close up all the doors to make sure I'm nice and protected, then work my way towards the front once again, to actually go through all the controls. But yes, looking up the ceiling, so I did miss that out. There we go. Anyway, coming back towards the front, closing up that doorway, through here. There we go. Popping into the cockpit, doesn't matter which way we get inside, still going to be ejected out when we can actually get into it. Bring up the HUD, we've only got one tab to go through. Tab number 2 does have some ghost controls, not too sure what they are meant to be. But no, everything that we really want to have is on tab number 1. So number 1's going to be for our hydrogen thrusters at the front of the ship to turn them off. When we start moving forwards, we won't slow down. Number 2 is for that camera so we actually get a good view of what's going on ahead of us. So if we're in a world that blocks third person view, we have this option actually seeing outside the cockpit. And of course, as you can see, we've got a half block in front of us to actually help protect up the window and ultimately help protect up the camera, which is always a jolly good stuff if you're going head on towards your enemy. Anyway, coming out of that, process number 3 is going to cycle through what you want your turrets to lock onto. Like I said at the very start, it spawns in default targeting weapons, which is jolly good stuff. Then we've got number 4, 5 and 6 for your jump tries, where if we press number 5, we can jump 2,000 kilometers, which is very respectable for a combat ship, especially one that can go out and about and scout for all patches with its handy little ore detector. Anyway, number 7 is then to open and close your hangar bay doors on the side there. Pressing 7, there we go, pressing again, we'll close it up. Number 8 is then for your hydrogen tanks to stop power on and off. And then number 9 is master toggle for all your hydrogen thrusters to turn them off. So there we go, if you don't want to use them for whatever reason, you have that option. But now what I'm going to do is bring up the signals, what's going on there. Looks like a dangerous Reaver account has spawned in, we'll go fidget off fidget with that one. So what we want to do now is actually test out the thrusters, see how it handles, then work our way over to that purple signal. So moving forwards, here we go, this is what we get. And with all those hydrogen thrusters at the back there, we're not the fastest thing in the world, but we are certainly faster than a lot of battleships. And there we go, the Reaver has detected me, it's going to come target me, which could be a bit of a problem because it is below me, where we don't have many turrets. But anyway, yes, this SkyBox does allow me to go above 100 meters per second. There will be linked to a description below if you wish to check out yourself. Coming to a stop, this thing still is very respectable. That should do very well at the end of the day when charging along towards your base. And there goes the turrets, now engaging with the enemies. So yes, moving forwards, moving backwards is very, very good. Moving left, and moving right, we're a lot slower than moving forwards and backwards, but that doesn't matter because we are going to be charging straight ahead towards our enemies. And of course, moving down, there we go, and moving up. Moving up feels a little bit faster than moving forwards, which is really good stuff, especially if you bring it down to a planet. Now what I am going to do is turn this around to make sure all of our turrets can actually target the enemies. There we go. I suppose what I can do now is actually do a gyroscope test, so first person view, here we go. Moving this thing around. We've got plenty of control over this, so we can easily move this thing around. It drags just a little bit, give it a bit of weight on there, but it certainly suits the size of the ship and what it's trying to portray. So yes, bring on the signals, there's the enemy right there, coming all the way up to it, all the way around. And hopefully the guns can deal with it, tilting it down slightly. There we go. And it should do quite well against that ship. That should be almost disabled there. Yes, it is. It looks like the guns have stopped on the Reaver ship. And well, that is that for that encounter. How much damage did it deal to this? Means I was doing a thruster test and completely ignoring the Reaver ship. Looks like it didn't do too much at the end of the day. We did get quite pounded at the back there, but it's quite a lot of damaged blocks, or at least damaged steel blocks. We lost 2 thrusters, but still it's very respectable damage. I suppose what I can do now, come over to the back hangar bay, turn on the projector, and actually show it projecting the entire ship. So into here, pressing number 4, come on back around towards the front, into the cockpit, there we are. And there's all the damaged blocks. So we did lose our antenna on top, we did lose our rocket launcher turret and one of our interior turret right there. On the side, a few steel blocks did get damaged. And with that, I believe it's time for me to drop over to another ship and fly over to that dangerous encounter to end this video. And here we go, I've now flown all the way over to the dangerous encounter, where coming all the way up to it, if you're not familiar with the modular systems encounter mod, what's going to happen is when you go all the way up to the purple signal, it's then going to spawn an event for you to handle, which could be very difficult, more intended for a large battleship with lots of guns, or at least multiple ships with you and your friends engaging. But no, as you can see in the distance there, we then got 3 enemy signals. We can see a Reaver, whatever that is, a Reaver jump drive suppression field, a Reaver jetpack inhibitor field, and that's coming all the way over to me. That might be a singular ship, I'm not too sure. Looking all the way up to it, and there it is. That's a bloody large ship. I'm going to have to start evasive maneuvers right now. Back to the camera view, here we go, all the way around, the guns have engaged. Here we go, that's a massive volley all the way into the front of that thing. Hopefully that can disable it. I'm not too sure if it's going to be able to do that. But there goes all their shots. We're going to keep circling around because it's going to be my best bet here. Moving up to avoid all those rocket launchers. And there we go. My god, that is a gigantic battleship. This is going to be absolutely torn to shreds. That's absolutely terrifying to look at. Look at that thing. That thing is just a monstrosity. You'd only imagine something like Warhammer 40k. They're coming all the way out to it. Looks like the camera has been disabled. tilting it down maybe to get that rocket launcher to start shooting into it, hiding all the HUD there. And we're starting to blast straight into it. Might actually be evenly matched. I'm not too sure if we're actually going to win this one, but it looks like it has stopped. Oh, it's going to be moving around. I need to maneuver itself to actually get more guns onto me. And all the way around there, in first person view, we can now see all the way outside there. Our short cannon turrets, our artillery turrets. Oh god, there goes the cockpit, moving away there. What is going on there? Looks like we have been fully disabled. We've been completely torn open on the top there. Turning on my jetpack. And I'll put it on the damners. There we go. Now coming all the way upwards. And it looks like that is the end of Project 820E Light Frigate. Looks like that ship was a bit too much for it to handle, which is to be expected from a Reaver encounter. And well, because of the inhibitor fields, we're not going to be able to go all the way up to it. So to get a better look at that ship with the free camera all the way over. And there we go. Look at that thing. That's absolutely giant. Absolutely terrifying to see. So many guns on there. Look at that. It's got turrets on turrets on turrets. And well, yes, doesn't surprise me that we didn't stand a chance. But no, at the end of the day, it did a respectable job at actually trying its best against this type of ship. Again, like I said, it would need to be a bigger ship, or at least multiple of those ships to take this thing out. And well, that's that with this video and what it has to offer. It's a fantastic looking ship to use in your world. If you do want to have a nice frigate ship to go exploring in your world, get the smaller targets if you want to do that. And of course, there will be links to its description below if you wish to download and play around yourself. Highly recommend you do. And I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.